So our next presenter is Thomas Feurstein from the State Library of Vorarlberg. He heads the Department for Regional Studies, and he will now present Publish or Hide. Very interesting question. Please.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening. It's nearly Halloween. I was very interested in the presentation of Roberta Monetti. Is she still here? No. Roberta, no. She showed us a collection concerning resistance, and I will show you a collection Nazi photography. We have similar problems, similar tasks, but many differences. First of all, I will give you a very short, I will be short. Give you a short insight where we are, what we are doing. We are a library in the most western part of Austria. We are an academic library in a country without university. And my part is preserving cultural heritage. Traditional materials, books, journals, maps, and so on, but we have a long tradition in preserving audiovisual materials, like we have a radio and TV archive, and as Harald mentioned before, we have a photo collection, 380,000 items in 39 collections. And I will present you the most exciting collection going online last year. I will take you back to Austria in the year 1938. Germany was at this point already under Nazi control, and there were many illegal Nazi supporters in Austria. And in 1938, Austria became part of the German Reich. Austria described himself for many, many years as a victim. But there were many supporters, and last but not least, Adolf Hitler was born in Austria. In 1938, it was Anschluss, annexion from Austria to Germany, and everything changed dramatically, from kindergarten to school, work life, the Nazis organized parades, and they fully took over politics, who dissidents were arrested and often killed in concentration camps. Now we follow a young man born in 1908 in Bregenz. He was illegal member of the NSDAP, and he was professional photographer. You can see here at this is SR symbols. He was in the leading. He was a leading SR member of the Nazi Party. He was professional photographer. On the one hand, he produced photos as a photographer of the party, and on the other hand, he made private Nazi photography. For example, he spent his holidays in Nuremberg at the party congress. He was an intelligent young man. In Carnival, he was dressed up as a circus director. He took a motorbike tour to North Africa. And in 1942, he became soldier of the Wehrmacht. And in 1945, he was killed at the Eastern Front in Slovakia. This are the basics, the historical situation, a photographer, and now we do a jump 70 years later in 2015 on a flea market. Photographical material appeared about 5 meters in a shelf. Glass plates, negatives, positives, letters, and so on. And we could later find out the wife of Werner Schlegel, the name of the photographer. She died many, many years after him in 2008. And from this point on, a distant relative began to sell his photographic estate. A citizen from my hometown, a passionate collector, bought these mysterious materials without knowing what's in it. Beginning to digitize a few photos, he was very astonished because they were all over Nazi symbols and images showing Nazi activities. He began researching Werner Schlegel, and who was only known for a few people as a photographer of postcards. Luckily, the buyer was a professional restorer of artworks, so he could perfectly preserve and store the collection, but he had professional contact to the museum, but it took a few years. In 2022, he donated this collection not to the museum, but to the library. And because we had a Phaidra-based, well-known and well-running photo collection, and because of this, the museums and archives of my region, they have nearly more or less, they have stopped building up own presentation platforms. So it was Paolo Bodroni. Some of you will remember him. He had a philosophic view on pictures and images, and he predicted us that we will never be alone. There will be cooperations and connections to other institutions, and it happens like he has predicted. This is a very nice development, but it's much work to stay in connection with cooperation partners and to integrate foreign metadata. Okay, now we have, after getting the material, we started the digitization, and now we had in one moment 4,000 photos showing Nazi activities. Before it was a handful of it. There was nearly no photographic materials. And the first of all, it was the special about this collection is it's the inside of a devoted Nazi. It's propaganda photography. Starting new collections, we always have to think about legal basics. In this collection, it was copyright and privacy issues were no problem. Photographer dead, all shown people dead. But the next step was ethnical concerns. We had an impetus by a conference in the Austrian National Library. It was called in English, Nazism Online, Responsibility of Libraries, Archives and Museums, and it helped us to understand what ethnical responsibility could mean. A second seminar of librarians and archivists in Dresden had a thematical focus on sensitive materials, and there were two opinions. The one hand said, let's publish it. It's not the job of librarians to censor information. And the other said, these photos are aesthetic. They are perfect material for social media used for right-wing movements. For example, you see here on the right side a photo on a Thanksgiving celebration. Beautiful people, perfect world without foreigners. Perfect material to be used for social media. Okay, we try to find a balanced approach to show these photos online. and our first step was to do contextualization, we call it, to describe photos, and I give you two short examples. One of them in my hometown, Baldo von Schirach, visiting Bregenz, thousands of young people celebrating him like a pop star, and our historian wrote a commentary which is ending in 1940. Von Schirach became Gauleiter of Vienna and was responsible for the deportation of around 65,000 Jews after the war, and so on. These comments are part of the metadata in ALMA. Phaidra is the basic for storage, but metadata is created in the library system ALMA. Or the second one, very short, all the people with Hitlergruß celebrating Robert Ley, who was leader of the German Labor Front. He committed suicide before he was at the court in Nuremberg. Working with sensible materials is waking up politicians. Everyone is very cautious about it, and we had to order a legal review who gave us a few recommendations. Okay, and this will then I'm coming now, I have skipped a few things, nearly to the end. The recommendations said, making using terms visible. Normally at our presentation platform, using terms are hidden somewhere in the footnote, nobody is reading them. For our Schlegel connection, if you want to download a photo, it's opening, you have to read it, you have to actively accept the usage terms, and in this there is written that misuse will threatened by criminal and civil consequences. It is a new dimension of usage terms for us. Normally, this is somewhere in the footnotes. The second one, low resolution. We have heard this in the presentation of Roberta. Normally, we have original 50, 70, 100 megabyte. In Schlegel, those are a few kilobytes. You can open it, you can see it, but you cannot really copy it. You become a high quality image if you are a researcher and if you order a high quality copy if you explain your purpose. Watermarks are put on our photos. My technical colleague Harald, he said, forget it. With KI, with AI, you can reconstruct your photos without problems. But it's a symbol to show don't use it without thinking what you are doing. Okay. And the third one, I had contact with a colleague from Europeana. Our legal review said don't share it with Europeana and Kulturpool because you cannot, because you have no license. You have no Creative Commons license. Don't share it, and we didn't share it till now. Okay, an application case. We had an exhibition in our local state museum. The title was "We Were Enthusiastic," all the photos show enthusiastic, beautiful people. Why? And our photo collection will not give an answer to it, but it can give a support to research. That's our goal as a library. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for this quite interesting presentation. We have time for one question, and there's one question already here in the audience.
Okay.
Thank you for the presentation. It's rather a statement than a question. I'm really thankful that we have these resources and there are institutions preserving these, as I think it's incredibly important to have a look at the predator's side and the mechanisms of manipulation,
Yes.
especially these days. Thank you for that.
We had an exhibition in the museum, and this was only showing the Nazi propaganda, but there were many suggestions who wanted to compare it with today's mechanisms. But this was, for the moment, it was too short, but in the museum they are thinking about later an exhibition who will show mechanisms of mass events to produce movements like shown in our collection.
Yeah, it's also a fantastic story, because when I think about these could have been bought by somebody else.
Yes.
These pictures.
And the collector, he told us he could have sold these photos for a lot of money to US Nazi fans.
Yeah.
Okay, but he did not.
Yeah. Thank you. So it was really great, great story. Okay. Thank you.